October 8th saw another laundry list. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So the Sims Direct tweeted and shared on various social media, including their Discord, Simmers. Today we have a new laundry list with a number of community reported issues that we aim to resolve in the next patch for an improved gameplay experience. And then they check out some of the top reported bugs because they have those screenshots, which we'll take a look at, and see the full list here, which they link to their full laundry list. Now, they don't say when the game update's going to be, but we do know that Life and Death expansion pack is coming out on Thursday, October 31st. And the game update is like pretty much always the Tuesday before, which would be October 29th. And then it's usually at 10 a.m. Pacific. And I'll show a little screenshot up that shows you some of like the main time zones. It has the Pacific, i.e. Eastern, London, and then Sydney, Australia. Whatever those time zones are, it tells you that. So it'll give you an idea of when that game update is going to be. As we get closer, I'll be doing another video and I'll actually have like links so you can actually look and see when it is in your own time zone. But it's 3 weeks out at this point, so I think that's probably good enough. So here's the first screenshot of these top reports. Sims will not eat spoiled food autonomously. Sims will fully close their eyes when they're supposed to, like when sleeping. That's actually a new bug report with the Love Struck update. So that's actually one of the newest things that I noticed being fixed. The rest, I think, are a bit older. Parent Sims will no longer get stuck standing idly in front of the crib when trying to interact with their sleeping baby. Hopefully that makes infants less glitchy. NPC Sims no longer enter the lot without knocking on the door. That would be a good one. Moving on, the next one is cleared situations where BB objects and houses placed with move objects on would appear in the sky. City living festivals and other festivals now always appear properly in the calendar. Property owner will not be charged along with eviction settlement after tenant breaks lease. And packed lunch boxes from inventory are eaten by teen Sims during lunch hours. Then this is the last page of like the details. So they have bad ranch product moodlet no longer observed upon harvesting excellent, magnificent, and perfect quality plants. I get that a lot because that's if your Sim is a rancher. They have that trait, then they get this moodlet. Mermaids now have their own tombstone. So that's in keeping with, the fact that the Life and Death pack is coming out. Lights no longer revert to auto mode in haunted houses. And skill books are now available at all libraries, not just the Willow Creek Library. And the reason it was at the Willow Creek Library is that currently there is a specific bookcase that has the base game skills and a couple early skills that came out. The later skills aren't on there, but it is not clonable. It is not found anywhere, not in debug, nothing. There used to be a cheat that you could use to spawn it. It was dangerous because your Sim had to be like on the lot and it would spawn where your Sim was. It was fine. It didn't hurt the Sim. But when I remember doing this like in the early days, this cheat is not in the game. Possibly with all cheats it would be, but it's not in the game anymore. My Sim was like in the neighborhood. There's this big bookcase, not on the library lot. In the neighborhood. I was trying to get one for the library in Windenburg over there. But anyways, now all I do is I have a room in my library and on the gallery which has a few of these bookcases. And if you put those bookcases in any library or any lot, then you get those basic skill books. So I'm hoping that still is going to work. But I'm thinking that maybe they're doing something with the library lot type that if you have the library lot type, it knows that there's supposed to be skill books. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. It's probably not a major issue, but it's just one that I've, experienced before and come up with a workaround. And so now I'm curious how that workaround is going to work. And then essentially it says the extended laundry list of fixes available through our link tree, which essentially is just all their social media sites. Then you get to it through there. And it says, as part of our commitment to tackling technical issues, the dedicated team continues to prioritize community-voted reports on Answers HQ for each update or patch. Well, they have to be ones that they can figure out what the cause is and figure out the solution. That's the issue with some bigger ones that aren't here. haven't been here is that they don't have the fix. So then they followed up to say, this is our 4th release in this series with more planned for the future. Please continue to report any issues or Me Too threads on AHQ as needed. And then they link to AHQ. So here is the actual laundry list, which essentially says the same things that they had said in the tweets. But the one thing that is new is the bottom part where they say, as with each new patch, please remember to remove any external game mods and custom content if you're experiencing issues as the first step in troubleshooting, as they may conflict with the updates. And I would go one step forward. This is a major update that's preceding an expansion pack that seems like it's going to be changing things a lot. So I would expect that many, if not most mods, I'm not saying custom content, but I would expect many, if not most mods and possibly some custom content is likely to break with this update. So I would actually recommend to remove it. Don't delete it. Remove it before you actually update your game. And I know they get automatically disabled with any major update. They will with this one, but I think that it's just best and safest to test with it out, because you could corrupt your saves or have problems, but also don't go into those saves until you know everything is okay. Any save that you care about, I would suggest playing with a new test save to see how things have gone with the update. That's assuming that you don't just want to avoid the update in the beginning and wait till you find out if there's any issues with it, or if you can't play without your mods. That's another reason to temporarily avoid it if you play in the EA app. So here's the first part of the laundry list, and I've gone through and compared it to those, highlighted ones, and also to the top ones from the bug section, which I'll show also. So the ones in light blue are from the summary laundry list. The ones that have yellow, which is 2, one is light blue and yellow, they are from those, popular ones that I will show now, actually. So we have the current issues, and for that you have Sims invading homes, and that particular one is the NPC Sims no longer enter the lot without knocking on the door, that you can see there on the laundry list. And the actual bug report here is Sims invading homes. That's what it's called. It doesn't have a mark as being the laundry list. Most of the ones that I did check say laundry list. I'm not sure why that is, but the laundry list links to this Sims invading homes bug report. And this is like the main thread here where, Sims are invading homes. But then there are some threads for specific causes. So my expectation, since this is linking to this main thread, that this is what they're fixing, as opposed to these, threads for specific causes down below. I don't know. Sometimes the laundry list isn't as clear as what's actually being fixed. But my guess is it's the main one. But we'll see whether it actually fixes it or whether it fixes it all come patch day. And so we already kind of talked about the ones that were highlighted in blue. So another thing that is there at the top that wasn't on those top ones is there's 2 things for console, where for cottage living and growing together, the cross-stitch object and the puzzles respectively were, grayscale black and white. And they should hopefully be in color now. And I know I have a friend who has an issue with their plants always dying. So hopefully this plants that have enough water will stop dying, will help. I've had it happen a little bit, but luckily I haven't had it happen too much. And the parent Sims no longer gets stuck standing idly in front of the crib was on that list. But there's another one further down to do with infants, and there was something later on with vampires to do with infants. So it looks like they're trying to fix a few things around infants, which again, as I said before, would be good because they're kind of glitchy. One thing I haven't commented on is that the summary ones had 12 items, but the overall laundry list has 51 items, which is a little less than half of what we got fixed in September. And it's possible because it's also so close to from when we got it done. It's just over a month. There will be just over a month in between. Plus also they're probably working on getting the actual you know, whatever is coming to prepare the game for the pack done too. And it's also possible that we may get a few more bug fixes that they aren't sure about, and so they didn't put it on the laundry list. I'm not holding out high hopes for that, but there are a few bugs that I can think of, like you can't fish in Sulani at the fishing signs. You can fish on a canoe, and there's usually, at least in the MapleSimmer, there's a sailboat just around that your Sims can use. And I'm not sure about the fishing traps, if they're usable, but you can't fish at the fishing signs in Sulani. That is a reported bug. There's another bug that's not noted here. That's kind of a newer issue where when you go to school with your high school students, if you have more than one high school student, only one will get the task, and you get a last exception. You could still go to school with more than one, but it is kind of, you know, when you get last exceptions, it's usually better to try and avoid those. Those aren't on this list. Those are kind of newer ones, and they're ones that I'd love to see fixed that aren't on here. And of course, there's also the other one is this top 10 Sims are not moving freezing animation problems. That is on the laundry list. But that here is called the interactions will no longer jam and prevent progression through the interaction queue when caused by stuck chickens on the lot, which seems oddly specific. But the actual bug report just says Sims are not moving freezing animation problems. So it seems odd that everybody's having this issue just to do with stuck chickens. I'm not really sure if this whole bug report, you know, if it's fully going to be fixed or if there's like an element that's going to be fixed. But the overall one is on the top 10, and it links to this particular, and it's saying laundry list. So that's where I'm saying, like, the other one didn't say laundry list. This one is saying laundry list. And the reason I'm showing these two is because they were on like the current issues and the top 10 ones. So again, the current issues that aren't here, the massive lag when entering and exiting build by mode. I think that actually is closed, but I'm guessing there's a new bug report, but it's not linking to it. And a lot of these are fairly old ones that are there. And then you have the popular now, and the action won't queue for resume knitting. That's a new one since the Lovestruck update. And you can see, so like these are things that I would love to have like a little bit more of these fixed, but they're not fixed. The one about the island living isn't on here, and either is the thing with the going to high school with your teens isn't on there either. Like the fact that you only get the tasks for one of them, and you should be able to go with multiple teens to school and get tasks for all of them. I've done it many times in the past. So, but anyways, that's sort of like you had your current issues and your popular now, of which two seem to be on the laundry list. And that's kind of it for this list, or that part of the list. So now moving on, we have a few more things from that summary laundry list on here, where you got the affecting multiple packs with the move objects, you know, things appearing in the sky. The thing with the city living festivals, you know, should be appearing properly in the calendar. I guess NPC Sims in San Myshuno should no longer experience an unexpected wait game. If they're like just wandering around, they should only happen if they're inside an active residential lot. There's a small one for Crystal Creations about the tree will not become invisible or transparent, and the crystals will be collectible. And then there's the for rent with the not being charged with the eviction settlement, and a few other ones. And again, they don't have the one with the lot corruption here, which is the biggest issue. And there's a whole bunch of small issues with the small appliances that I would like to get fixed too. They're not major, they're not game breaking, but they make me not want to use them. So here is the Growing Together High School Years, Horse Ranch Island Living, Lovestruck, and Paranormal, which has 4 items that were from the summary list. And then some other, you know, miscellaneous ones that are there. And then this last one has a couple for Realm of Magic and Werewolves that they shouldn't like move around as much in Kratos, which is kind of nice. I'm a little surprised that they aren't having it there for vampires too. And another thing with vampires with respect to infants and the kind of minor ones that aren't actually noted. The funny thing is the spellcaster animation doesn't actually have a link to AHQ. There was a couple of things on the laundry list that didn't link to AHQ, but the majority of them did. So that was it for the laundry list. There was 51 things on there. Definitely there are a few that I was happy to see that do affect my gameplay, but there was a few that as I already mentioned, I would have really liked to have seen that aren't on here. Fingers crossed maybe we might get something else fixed, but either way, hopefully they do fix the ones that are on here, and I'd love to know if any of these are things that affect your gameplay so that you're excited to see them, and are any of the ones that I've mentioned or something else things that are on Insert Headquarters that you would also like to have seen on here that aren't. I'd love to know that in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!